Hey guys, before we get into this, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really did not think I'd see the day to when this channel has grown at such a pace, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys are amazing. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here, say thank you and God bless y'all. And now let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the All Sports Pass. My name's Eli, I'm your host tonight, and welcome back to another video. And there's been a bunch that's gone on in high school football as we're nearly at the end of the season. Yes, you heard that right. We are nearly at the end of the season, which I honestly cannot believe. And we got a lot to talk about, but before we get into it, you already know I got to start off the verse of the day. And today's verse comes from First Chronicles 16:34, and it says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever." And before we get in this video, leave a like, subscribe for more high school football content. Without further ado, let's begin. So we've had a bunch of high school football games that ended up being extremely amazing, and we even saw an upset too. And and I will say this, it looks like for the first time in ASP history, I don't have a game of the week because for week 7, there's just so many good games I couldn't choose. So basically there's no game of the week this week. So we're gonna just say every game's the game this week is the game of the week. Yeah, so let's get into it here. First game, West at Halls. This is the upset I was talking about. Of course, Halls had their early season struggles. Um, of course, with the 0-3 start, they get their first win against William Blount, and then they end up playing West. That game goes to overtime, where Halls wins in overtime, and all I have to say is, like, I did not expect West to like struggle a little bit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what I mean to say is, I did not expect West to, to really like lose this game. Because and like I say, you just never know. It's high school football. But the thing about it is, West and Halls, it seems like West is just having a bunch of troubles playing on the road. Um, and they will actually be playing against Clinton at home. This is their second home game of the season, so we'll see what they can do at home. And of course, they actually lost their first home game of the season against Alcoa, which was back during week 4. But I do think that West, they're still trying to figure things out. Of course, new coach and everything. And West is 6th in the region, but if they win out, perhaps they should be able to fight for a playoff spot, which I will give you the region here. This is 5A Region 2. Region leaders: Powell, Central, Halls, William Blount, Carnes, West, Clinton, and Campbell County. So that's basically, yeah, so West, I think, really just needs to win out because they have not played Clinton, they've not played Carnes yet, they've not played William Blount, and they have not played Powell yet. So basically, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But however, it'll be interesting to see what if West can win on their home turf. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, next game was Alcoa at Fulton. Fulton, of course, just not able to keep up with Alcoa. Um, and of course, I'm just gonna say this: Alcoa being the 10-time defending TSSAA state champions, this result was kind of expected because hey, I even saw Alcoa play when they went to Gibbs. Alcoa is one heck of a football team, and and yeah, that's just all I got to say about that. And for Fulton, of course, unfortunately, this is gonna eliminate them from playoff contention as they are now 0-6, and because of the fact that they are sorry guys, my Max Preps isn't loading. And it just took me to the roster here. Hold, there we go. They're seventh in 4A Region 2. They're 0-3 in region play, and this is an 8-team region. But of course, regardless if they were to win out, like they basically need every team to lose, which at this point in the season is basically impossible. So that's basically why I say that. And also another thing from this region, it looks like Union County is out of a contention as well, for postseason contention. So that's the so yeah, so really there's 6 teams that can make it. And I'm gonna read off the rankings real quick in this region. Alcoa, Anderson County, Carter, Heritage. Of course, Carter defeated Heritage last week, which you can actually hear about on the West Channel. South Doyle fifth, and then Gibbs sixth. So basically, this region is still up for grabs for the fourth and third spot. You just never know though. So yeah. All right. And like I said, for the Falcons, unfortunately, it's looking like that they are eliminated from playoff contention. Basically because they basically need every team to lose at this point. So yeah. Yeah. All right. Next team we got is Kingston and Austin East, and I will say this that this game was closer than I had expected. Because Kingston, of course, back when Alcoa was in that region, they were the second best team in that region, and now Kingston just it looks like Kingston just is struggling a little bit, which I really did not expect. I personally think that, of course, when we think about the Yellow Jackets, we think about the fact that they were able to do a number in that region, and they're currently 1-1 in the district, which I'll tell you who they've lost to. They have lost to Sweetwater by 2, and we'll actually get to Sweetwater and Austin East here in a minute. Um, they did beat Austin East. They're going to host McMinn Central this week, so yeah, before they go off to Scott, then they play Rockwood on the 24th and end the season with playing Meigs County on the road. So yeah, and I'll tell you this region right now. Yeah, Meigs County, McMinn Central, Sweetwater, Roane County, Scott, and Austin East. And, of course, I personally think this, that, with this being a 6-team region, it's a bit tough, but, luckily there's still time for, Austin East to potentially get in. It's just, basically, they're 0-2 in the region. They're playing Sweetwater at home. They basically need to win out in the region. Basically, is what I'm gonna say here. That's just yeah. Now we'll learn a bit more once we get to the scenarios and stuff. So yeah. All right, next game we got is Anderson County at Chattanooga Prep. Anderson County, of course, taking a 20-point win, which I will be honest. I did not expect this score. I expected Anderson County to run away with it, but Chattanooga Prep, of course, they proved that they can keep up with some teams. So I really think that, of course, there are some players, fans, myself included, who really underestimated them, and I really did not expect this score. So hats off, Chattanooga Prep. Yeah, and so we'll get to Anderson County more here in a minute. All right, and then Lenore City at Gibbs. I was at this game, and Gibbs, what a nice rebound for the Eagles. Now, it is a non-region game, but it was enough to get a little bit more energy back into this Eagles team following that upset loss to South Doyle. So basically, for Gibbs, they're able to rebound here against a 6A team, and they will be traveling on the road actually tomorrow. They're playing 2 Thursday games in a row with this being the first one, then the second one before they're on the bye week, and then they're going to go to Fulton after the bye week. So yeah, so interested what the Eagles can do, and yeah. So that leads us to our nope, never mind. Pal at Central. I'll say this: Central is continuing to surprise me. Like they ended up, like they really had a huge turnaround. Like they upset, like they beat West. They keep it close with Powell. Man, Central, honestly, man, I'll tell you what. I honestly think we could see a potential Central. I think we see Central go deep in the playoffs this year. That's going to be amazing, and I personally can't wait for it. Um, and we mentioned that region earlier. Basically, Central still got to play Cities in the district, but we'll get to Central more here in a minute. As we'll talk here in more in a minute. But Powell, of course, getting the win. But basically, Central, man, they're a team to watch if you've been keeping up with it. So I keep up with the Bobcats here because they're able to keep it close to Powell. They beat West. You just never know. Yeah, so I this is one of my teams I look out for. And all right, here's our game of the week: Greenville at Sevier County. This game went to two overtimes, and I will say this because I was at the Gibbs game. I unfortunately did not get to watch it. But the thing about it is, with going into two overtimes, and I also saw the highlight where of course Greenville was just 1 yard short of the end zone, where of course where the tackle was made and then fumbled and turnover on downs. Sevier County wins it 30-27. And Sevier County, for them, this is their 20th consecutive win. And what better way to celebrate than with a home win over a 4A championship contender? That is honestly something that I would honestly pat myself on the back for. And Sevier County being, the defending 5A state champions, I think we can also see Sevier County go back to the championship game. But we still got to get through the remaining of the regular season. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But it's going to be one amazing game. Well, I'm sorry, but this was an amazing game from like what I've seen, and yeah. All right, and now we're gonna head into week 7, and we got some big matchups this week, and also all the games, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, all the games are the game of the week because all these basically have a whole bunch of like they're basically all district play with the exception of Central, which we'll get into here in a minute. But here we go. First game we're going to talk about. This was the game of the week. The last two, like last year, Gibbs at Anderson County, and um, this is a key game for Gibbs, as you know. Of course, they as of course they are 1-2 in the region, and Anderson County, of course, trying to stay second in the region. And I will say this that forget. Oh, and this is and this presented by PJ's Barbershop and Sierra Lynn Photography. This segment is sorry I forgot to mention it. Um, but basically, with this, the Eagles are going to have to go down to Anderson County and then and potentially and try to win this game with all they can, as Anderson County, they've proven there to be a powerhouse, and if Gibbs can potentially keep up with them, that should be pretty good. And of course, I do think of course with Anderson County, you want to try to stay second in the region, and of course you still got to play Alcoa at the end of the regular season, and I'm excited for that game. Except I don't believe I'm going to be covering it because I think it's being held at Alcoa. So yeah. Yeah, but for the Eagles, they're looking for some redemption following the last 2 years against Anderson County. And it'll be one interesting game, I will say that. And it's being played tomorrow. So, yeah. All right, next game we got is Sweetwater at Austin East. First time we've seen the Wildcats of Sweetwater covered on the channel. Sweetwater, of course, defeating Kingston, and now they're playing Austin East. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. And I will say this that with Sweetwater, that they are currently 1-1 in the region, and I'll tell you who they have played here in this region before they play Austin East. Um, So they played Roane County. They've lost to Meigs County, and so that is the thing about it. And Meigs County, of course, being on top of the region right now, so that's the thing about it. And I will say this though, Austin East, this is being held at Austin East, and the thing about Austin East is that they're back at home, and like they're at home, and I feel like if Austin East can get down the field, I think they can. I think they got a shot to win this game. But however, I really will say this though, that Austin East, like they're 1-5 on the season, and I'm sorry, 1-4 on the season. Excuse me. Um, and now, of course, you're 0-2 in district. What better way to get a district win than at home? And yeah, so this is going to be an interesting game as well. So yeah. All right, next one we're going to talk about is Fulton at Carter. Like we mentioned earlier, the and this segment is presented by Bigs Only. Thank you for your continued support. You'll hear more about these ads during our ad break. Um, like at the end of the video. Um, so basically, like we mentioned, with the Falcons, like basically being eliminated from playoff contention, playing Carter, Carter, of course, having a really good season, like and upsetting Heritage last week, and what I will say was an amazing game. And with Carter, of course, being 4-2 on the season, there are two losses to Grace and Anderson County, and now they're 3-1 in the region. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Carter, after they play Fulton, will be hosting Austin East for senior night, and that will be on the 17th before they travel to Alcoa and to Gibbs, which yeah, I think will be really good games. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game, um, and let's see if the Hornets can continue to dominate. And yeah, all right, next one we got is Central and Ming County. Both schools in 5A, but the thing about it is this is a non-region game, so I really think that the thing about it is Central, of course, has been on a roll, and I don't think the Bobcats are going to slow down anytime soon. Oh, and this segment is presented by Blended by Justice. Um, I'll leave a link. I'll show you a link in the ad break when we get here. Um, and the thing about it is, and the thing here is that Central's been on a roll recently. So yeah, and then you also have Min County being 5-1. They're they defeated Bradley Central, um, defeated Cleveland, lost to Walker Valley, defeated Lenore City, defeated Saudi Daisy, and if I mentioned Lenore City being 6A, sorry, I meant to say 5A. Um, and they played Ooltewah, where they won 61-6, and now they host the Bobcats. And I have to say, this is a pretty good game. This is going to be a one good game. Good thing is it's non-region, and for the Bobcats being 4-2, as of course they lost to Dobbins Bennett early in the season. They lost to Powell. Um, they Hold on a second, guys. If I said Powell at Central, that's my bad. Hold on, let me just go back up here real quick. Yeah, that was being held at Powell. Sorry, sorry, I got the games mixed up. Sorry, guys. Let me just tell you this. There was like basically, I try to get the like game site as fast as possible, and I must have just looked at the wrong one. So I'm so sorry. Actually, hold on. No, I remember now. That was supposed to say Powell versus Central actually, but I can't change it now. It's whatever. Um, yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So yeah, and with McMinn County, of course. Oh, and I did it again. Sorry, guys. I accidentally it's actually a home game for Central. That's my bad. Um, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And yeah, so it'll really be interesting to see what happens. And yeah, well, actually, hold on. It's saying this is a neutral game, so you just never know. Um, yeah, so we'll just find out the site really. Because that's the thing I hate about neutral games is that sometimes you don't know what the site is. All right, next one we got is Campbell County at Powell. Campbell County, of course, basically being eliminated from playoff contention. Um, they basically they haven't won a game this season, in a disappointing season. They're um they're basically, hold on, there we go, it loaded. They're 0-6 on the season, 0-4 in the region, and basically, unless they can upset Powell, it's basically, I think, it's probably gonna be, they're probably eliminated from playoff contention. So yeah, but however, Campbell County, just a disappointing season, being moved into this region, after being in a different region, the last couple seasons. So yeah, but however, Powell, trying to continue their dominance, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. So yeah. All right, next one we got is actually the last game we got is Sevier County at Cott County. Sevier County's been on a roll, like we mentioned, with a 20 game win streak, and the thing about it is, like, Sevier County is just on a roll, and this is a non-district. I'm sorry, this is a district game. I'm sorry. Um, they are So basically that means that hold on, and there we go. Man, Max Press really does not want to be my friend today, guys. This is a district game, and Sevier County is currently leading the district, and Cott County, of course, 0-2 on the season. I'm sorry, 0-2 in the district, 0-6 in the season. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. But the thing about it is, of course, you still got a whole bunch of region play as well for Sevier County as well. Like Sevier County still has to play. Hold on a second. There we go. Sevier County still has to play. Of course, like um it's their third to last region game. They play at Cott County, then they play against Grace, which is a non-region game. Play against Tennessee High region. Then they play a team from West Virginia, Huntington, and then they go to Morristown West, to to finish the regular season and the district season. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. And yeah, but Sevier County, I know for a fact, just because they got 20 wins, they are not going to back down. They want to get back to the state title game. So that's just all I'm going to put. It's going to be one interesting game, is what I'm going to say. All right, here we go. This is going to be the sponsors, and then we're going to end the video. We want to thank PJ's Barbershop for their continued support. PJ's Barbershop is located on 3544 Neal Drive, Suite 101, Knoxville, Tennessee 37918. If you want to schedule an appointment, you can call or text Pam or Jackie by going to the numbers on your screen. And next one we have is Sierra Lynn Photography. You can DM Sierra at Sierra underscore 343 or SierraLynn.photos on Instagram to schedule a session. And then this one here, is a temporary sponsor. This is actually the last week for it, before, because this event's happening this Saturday, and I just received info. You see, like, this is a benefit expansion for the Union Baptist Daycare. There's a benefit banquet and silent auction. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $30. Nally Lane is also going to be in concert. The doors open at 3:45 p.m. Tickets are $30. And they will be selling tickets at the door. So if you want to go, the address is right on your screen. I'll circle it right here. You got right there, and we also got it's also down here too. You got 6701 Washington Pike, Knoxville, Tennessee 37918, and yeah. All right. Now the next one we got is Bigs Only, um, outdoor apparel brand. They also got outdoor accessories, and you can go check them out by going to bigsonly.com. It's the link on the top left of your screen. And finally, we got Blended by Justice. Um, this is a clothing brand, and Justice has got some really cool stuff. I would go check him out. He is amazing. Um, I'll go check out to see what kind of clothes he has. You can go do that by going to www.blendedbyjustice.com. Thank you all for your continued support of All Sports Pass. And all right, that's going to end the video tonight, y'all. If y'all enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more high school football content. And once again, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. Y'all don't know how much this means to me and the ASP crew. Um, yeah. And with all that being said, God bless and have a good night.